Okay. Hey y'all. It's your girl Sia, and I'm back with another video. Hang on you guys. I'm about to maneuver really, really quick so I can put you guys in this space with a little bit more security. I'm coming to a red light, so I wonder if I might have time to do it right now. It's fine. Actually, give me 1 second, guys. But I wanted to talk about something that really came to my mind today. Basically, part of what I want to do on this channel and I love is that I utilize my life experiences to talk about different life lessons, right? And something I noticed today, I was at work and I know, well, let's be clear. This has been going on for the last month, maybe, where I have not spoken to one person who I work with at all. And that person returns the favor by doing the same, right? And who started it? I would say this. For the most part, right? I feel as though because I am, I guess let's put it this way, quote unquote, like an assistant manager, right? Um, I have a duty to go into work. Let me check. Did I check? Oh, sheesh. All right, let me turn off my heat. God dang it. Or turn it down or something. So I'm not. Hang on, y'all. Sorry, I forgot. I meant to put gas in my car after I left work and I kind of forgot. But part of my job, obviously, is saying good morning to everyone. We have to lead by example. So if you want your team in a positive mood, you got to kind of show up in a positive mood. And one of the ways I've been taught to do that is by saying good morning, right? And I understand when tax season is there, I am leadership essentially. But when tax season is not here, I'm just a regular person because it's not my season. I have nothing really to do when we're not doing tax returns, right? Now, we hired on somebody who's been with a company for about 6 months, right? Maybe a little bit longer or shorter, give or take. And I promise you, I have said good morning to this individual 10 times more than they've ever said good morning to me, right? And when I say good morning, I'm usually met with an eye roll. The excuse is, oh, well, I'm tired. And it's a man, by the way, and we're going to really dissect this, right? The excuse is he's tired. And then another excuse. Now, keep in mind this, right? If I come into the office and I'm just now getting in, I don't want to hear about work, right? I don't want to hear about what you need from me because I haven't even uh, logged in, right, to my quote unquote account to be able to help you. I've not logged into my computer to be able to assist you, right? These are not things that I'm able to do. Okay. Well, when I first get it. Okay. I'm usually getting my coffee, maybe talking to the owner, maybe chit chatting with folks, right? And then I get start my day, right? So about 10 to 15 minutes is usually how long it takes. And I think that's only fair when anybody's coming into the office. Give them time to settle in, give them time to log in, figure out what their day is going to be like. A lot of times, because my job is not doing one thing over and over and over again, I need to determine, okay, do I need to speak to the preparer? Like, I need to see my emails, right? I need to see what fires I need to put out, what needs my immediate attention, what can wait, right? So if you're coming to me before I can even set my bags down about what you think you need from me, um, you know, of course I'm going to ask you to give me 5, 10, 15 minutes, right? So the dude's now excuse, and it's very petty, it's very sassy, and I see why he's older than me and single and can't keep a woman, right? Because that type of mentality, that shit ain't gonna work with me. The shit I'm about to tell y'all. Now, so what this man does is I can guarantee you I've said good morning to him more times out of his duration of employment than he's ever said to me. However, the white girls, the Spanish girls, the men, right? He has no problem saying good morning to at all. Okay. And I'm not a flirter, right? I'm not really about to be poking you and flirting with you, and I'm not eating your food you offer, right? Because I don't know you like that. Like, maybe that's what he takes offensive, but it's like, bro, like, we don't have much in common, and or there's not enough conversation that takes place for him and I to really, like, I don't know you like that, right? And I'm sure he's probably taken it some type of way, considering I made it very clear, like, I don't know this fool. I don't know him from a can of paint. Everybody else has a personal relationship with him, right? I do not. And that's partly because we have not been. I'm gonna need you to get in your lane if you're gonna be speak. Okay, what are you doing? Fucking weirdos, bro. Um, but I personally, like, I'll chit chat with you, but if the conversation is dry, and I think it's intentional, that's just my personal thought process, because he's had issues with women in other places, and I get it. Like, all I be thinking about is I'm a pretty woman, right? So I get that you would, because of your history, you would want to mitigate or minimize as much contact as possible, but that's a personal problem. That's not like, I still got a job to do, irregardless of. And so obviously one of my jobs is making sure that things get done in a timely fashion, right? So if I'm being asked by the client, where's my return? And or if the owner is asking me where a return is, it is my responsibility to follow up on that and ask and inquire, right? Unfortunately, you're dealing with men who are immature, and so they see that as, oh, well, she's the boss and she's bossy, and it becomes like this competition thing that really doesn't need to be, right? Um, it is what it is, right? Now, with that being said, hey, these folks, this is just, listen, I ain't got time for y'all to be trying to figure it out. Like, I gotta get over. Folks is speeding up. Like, they're not gonna let you over, but then they slow down, so they let you over. It's so, I'm sure, as you guys can imagine, confusing. Yeah, I could have got through that too, but that's fine. Anywho, so that is my job, and I don't really care for the emotions of the men. It's almost like they have no choice but to get in line, but I think there's a typical standard when men see pretty women, how they look at you, how they treat you, how they judge you. And I really believe that that is a thing, right? Especially being that I'm working on a team with nothing but men, right? Yep. That's all I needed. Y'all hear my engine. I love the way my engine be sounding. It's kind of cool. It never used to sound like that. Now it sounds like it has, like, now, from what I googled, and I could be wrong because my old roommate told me I was wrong, but I thought the more miles you put on a car, the stronger the vehicle is. Yeah, the engine gets, and I was told I was wrong, but that's what I found on Google, and so mentally I believe it, right? Um, I just keep telling myself that, right? But anyhow, these people. So here's the deal. I've learned, and not all men, I want to be clear, because the tax manager, or he's now the billing manager. I love how they did that, right? Because that dude ain't managing shit. Okay, it's really me, And the way things are set up right now is I really have been helping to manage a lot of, I've realized how many tasks I've actually taken on to help manage things so that things get done in an efficient manner. And then this year, I'm like, well, what the heck? Like, am I not doing these things again? Uh, so I didn't realize how much I actually, like, I am the glue. And I keep saying that because I really am. I don't, will you get off my ass, please? That would be nice, sir. I see you, but there's no reason for you to be on my ass. The fuck? You almost hit me, man. Um, so I don't really know what any of these boys would do without me. They cannot spell, they don't organize, they're not they do not pay attention to detail, right? All things that you kind of need in the field that we do, because you need to be able to keep track of everything, right? So this is where men in the workforce really fail, okay? And I'm beginning to understand why relationships are so important, because if you can't do the basics, how do you expect to really move up? At least that's how it is for women. I would assume that it's the same way for men outside of their ability to connect with one another, right? Because the only reason the billing manager, and I love that name for him because I think that's more better than a tax manager. The billing manager is a male, right? Who's friends with the owner, and I mean good friends. Okay. So if you can imagine, it's not a skill set. I mean, he's got a level of intellect, cool, right? But that can't be the only reason why he's manager. Like, I'm sorry, right? Until I see it, I don't believe it. Okay. Um, so this is where the men really fall short in my field. And if they replace me, they will have to replace me with someone who pays attention to detail, who's great at formatting, just, good with computers. There's a lot of skill sets that I bring to this team that the team doesn't actually really have on their own. Okay. And I'm almost certain people recognize this, right? And it's cool. I'll take it. It is what it is, right? But I do add value to the team. I add a lot of value to the team, right? Okay. And I don't mean to be petty, but when we don't know how to spell questionnaire, yeah, I would think that you need me, right? I'm just saying. So the level of disrespect that I've encountered by the men, in my opinion, is unwarranted and should have never happened. What's interesting is the way my boss has kind of been running things is, well, yeah, she's here, and what you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? And I feel like that mentality, right, helps to put everybody kind of in their place without having to do it. So a year later, the two people that I was having very much that you would think that I have, and I want to be very clear. I grew up around a ton of different people, right? Nerds, weird people, regular people, all types of people. So I always felt that I knew how to communicate with all types of people. I'm still learning, but I thought I was a pretty good communicator, right? It's very interesting because my team and I, not everybody, have bonded. I can genuinely say the people that I felt like were caught, like, I feel like all of my preparers will do what I ask them to do. Okay. Um, and I wouldn't have to be upset, frustrated, none of that. I have a feeling that with my preparers, I don't know what happened. I don't know what bond was created. But I have a feeling that I have connected with, well, that was stupid. I have connected with everyone enough, except this one individual. And I just want to point out this person has a black male friend, several, who do not like black women. So I put that into perspective because I want you to be clear. When you're dealing with those kinds of black men, can you imagine the shit this man has heard about black women? And he's not black. So if the men who look like me are telling this man what they think about me, right? And not me, but women who look like me. Who do you think he's likely to believe? His male best friend? I'm just saying, he's not really been around. When you hear him talk about black people, it always tells me, I hate when racist people do this. I got black friends. Okay. I mean, you're not vibing with me at a level that I expect you to vibe with me if you really did have black friends. No, you have black male friends. That's completely different. You've probably never been around a black woman ever. Not in these spaces. And I don't mean to say it like that, but I can almost bet that's part of this man's attitude. Okay? And this man wondering, how the fuck did I get in my position? Because for some reason, when he started, he thought that my position was above his, which technically I found out today, if we keep the ladder the way the ladder is set up, I am, but not really, right? What they've done is they've given him his own thing so that he feels like everybody feels like they're in charge of something. That's what I'm realizing they've done. However, he still has a boss he has to answer to, technically, right? So it's very cool to see. It's cool to see the way the structure has been set up. However, this male still has yet to be broken in, at least where I'm concerned. So the reason why this title is lead by example, because one thing I said first, in management, your responsibility as a leader, period, is to lead by example. And the reason why I brought up all these other things, right, is because I really want y'all to understand the type of individual I'm dealing with. I already know what I'm dealing with. I'm just sitting here like, how long are you going to keep this going? Because as a woman, let me be clear, women can be very spiteful and we can do so for very long periods of time, right? However, at some point, you're going to have to talk to me, whether you like it or not. And I'm not used to men returning the favor. And I use the word men. I want to be clear, men and male. Okay, let's men and male. Okay. Because men, I want to be clear, this is a very good example of poor leadership. Okay. Now, I'm sick and tired of talking to you and feeling like I'm walking on eggshells when I'm talking to you. So I stopped talking to you. Right. And I actually said, the last thing I told this individual, I said, our communication is off. I don't know what's going on. And he's just looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. I'm not here to kiss your ass, homie. I probably make more money. I'm not here to kiss your ass. I'm letting you know there is a communication issue and we need to resolve it. I'm not going to go into, oh, please talk to me. No, my job requires me to talk to you. So why is it that every time I come to you, you got the eye roll and the excuses? Oh, well, I'm tired. Bitch, I'm so sick of hearing that shit from this individual. Like, you need to go get you some vitamins. You need to start taking care of yourself. If you're that fucking tired, bro, you need to figure it out. And I don't know, see, because as pretty people, because he is a pretty person, as pretty people, we tend to get, I mean, there's so many things involved here that I'm like, okay, let's just be clear. We tend to think that people are supposed to be in our face chasing after us. And during tax season, when this person started, I ain't got time for you to be in my face. What are you in my face for? You know, and I'm not really good at hiding that. And I know my boss has been like, girl, you need to, because on my face, you could tell I'm literally in the middle of some shit and you're interrupting. Like, that's on my face. I wear it. but my job is to stop what I'm doing and help them anyway. So my thing is this: if you know this is who I am, then you should be able to come and bug me no matter what. And this is where people got to grow some balls, right? Because my job is to give you an answer, regardless if I'm in the middle of something or not. If you come to me, right, and you say, "Hey, Cease, I got a question." Okay, cool. I got to stop what I'm doing to answer your question. That is my job. My annoyance is in the fact that you're bugging me in the middle of an email. However, that should, in my opinion, because I'm still learning how to turn around and be like, yes, you should know that it's my job to answer your question. I'm not allowed to turn you down, right? So, unless I mean I really got something going on, and then I can, right? But in that case, don't take it personal and come bring the question to me anyway. I don't do men that are scary. Like, that shit is weird as fuck. I talk to him just like I talk to every other man. And how is it that I'm able to get along with the boss no problem? That's an easy one. The boss drives me nuts sometimes, but I'm sure I drive him nuts sometimes. One thing I will say about the owner, though, is that's a fucking man. If I ever went through a situation where I wasn't talking to my boss, do you know he would come in and talk to me? He would actually come up and say, "Hey, what's going on? How are you? How's your day?" Like, he would try to check my temperature, and he does it every time. Now, there's only been a few times where I'm like, "Bro, this ain't the time to be trying to read my mind," right? And I will actually say that to him. Like, you trying to pick my brain while I got a lot of shit up here, that's not gonna work for me. I'm not everybody else, right? You need to give me my boundaries, right? But he knows how to not take that offensive. And if I'm in the middle of something, he recognizes I'm in the middle of it, and he'll do one or two things. He'll wait for me to finish what I'm doing, and or he'll be like, "Okay, I'll come right back," right? That's how a man handles situations. So for this man, he talking about, because I always wonder, you're 35, you might be going on 36, you're single, you've got roommate situations, which is unattractive, right? Um, and you're talking about how every girl says you're grumpy, right? We've been in communication, and that's some things that they don't really like about them. We've been in communications, right? Which is interesting, where he stated, like, um, "Thank you, appreciate ya. They actually can drive. They saw me pulling up, so they scooted up. Appreciate ya." Um, and another thing is, what was he saying? It's 35, got roommates, can't really, girls think he's so grumpy, which I can understand why. And then we were talking, and he's like, "Yeah, well, I need a woman with a head on their shoulders." Anybody who knows me knows I got a head on my shoulders. I need a woman that's got herself together, because I can't deal with, stupid women. And that's how he talk about them, right? Calling them broads. And so I'm peeping game. Like, let me be clear. He's never been overtly disrespectful. But the conversation I pick up on, 1000%, everything that he's telling me. And then I'm looking at the behavior in the office, and I'm like, oh, this is why you really can't keep a woman. And I understand that men don't think that how I behave outside of a relationship dictates how I will behave inside a relationship. I get that that's the argument, but that's not the case. I want to be very, very clear with you. If a man does not know how to problem solve with little old me, right? I find that to be a problem. I find that to be a sign of weakness. Do you understand me? A male should understand problem solving and should have problem solving skills and or enough emotional intelligence to not have a problem. Do you see what I'm like, for real? Right? I'm a woman, right? We work together. We haven't spoken about a month at all. I'm talking about literally at all. My daughter was there, and my daughter noticed, she said, Mom, it seemed like he had an attitude with me. Now, my daughter's been there much longer than this motherfucker. She ain't going nowhere. So if I need to bring her to the office, she's coming. Why is a grown ass man giving my daughter an attitude? For what? Why is the perception that he has an attitude? Why is that even the perception? Right? She's a fucking kid, bro. Right? So yeah, I took that some type of way, right? I take that personal because you made it fucking personal, right? Now, my thing is this. You're the fucking man. You are the leader, right? See, this is what men don't understand. You don't get to turn off that leadership thing when you want to, and now you in a relationship talking about I'm the man, rah rah. That's not how this works. Because the fact that this man could even say he was with some stupid broads or chicks, however he said it, was disrespectful. But I'm listening and I'm peeping game. You ain't talking about me. I'm just peeping game. You see what I'm saying? The chicks might have been dumb. I don't know. But 35, bouncing from roommate to roommate, just got your driver's license. Like, I could really go in. That shit's not cute. It doesn't scream smart. It doesn't scream responsibility. All right. So another thing this man said is, "Oh, I'm shy," and lack of confidence off the rip. Off the rip. I would never tell nobody that. Now, I tell people that I'm shy, but people don't believe me. I got a different kind of personality, right? I know how to pull out that that extrovert side of me if I have to. So, and I'm never going to allow people to think I'm timid. Now, I do come across timid in situations. I do come across timid in situations where I really am not vibing and gelling with the people. Right. So a lot of times my silence, I don't really know that I fuck with you yet. That's really what my silence is. I don't know that it's a shyness as much as I really don't know you. Right. And I'm reading you and I'm observing you because that teaches me how to interact with you. And the fuck are we doing? Can y'all drive? What the hell? Sorry. What are we doing? It's like no snow on the ground no more. And I really am not getting why we're going 20 miles per hour. Car is going, I think they're drunk. I must be a drunk driver. What the hell? Speed limit is 40, and this fool's going like 20. And there ain't no snow on the ground anymore. It's straight wet. Ain't icy because it ain't dark yet. So I don't know what, and that driver don't got his lights on. Ooh, that's an easy way to get pulled over. That's crazy. Anywho, sorry y'all. The things I see on the road. But it does. Let me tell you guys something, and this is not to down him because I'm sure he's a great guy, right? That's what they say, a nice guy, right? Um, but how you show up says a lot about you, right? So I get that I'm pretty, right? You may be shy, maybe hard to talk to me, right? And I really do believe that that's part of it, right? Is the fact that I am attractive. So I would think that I would try to minimize as much contact to keep that work, uh, the work relationship instead of making it personal because that's his past, that's his history. So I get that, right? But you would think that this individual would be enough, right? Because I could be woman enough, but the problem is I don't see that that's really I don't see that I need to be. Listen, if you want to snub me all you want, be jealous of me, feel like you're in competition with me, have an attitude with me. I've been here with all the men, right? I've done this before. This ain't my first rodeo with a tax preparer, right? This ain't my first rodeo with any employee that has worked in this office. I mean, obviously, but I'm not going nowhere. Not unless I decide it's time for me to go somewhere. Do you understand me? So you will cave in. Like this is how this works. But it should, how I see it is the fact, because I've never had a beef with a man this long, like to the point where you just ain't even talking. You see me every day. You know I look good because you can't help but to keep looking at me, right? But you refuse to talk to me. Even when you ask to talk to me and I come up to him and I said, "What's up?" I said, like, I say that to everybody, not all the time, but every time. It's not subjective to when what's up ain't something that I say when I'm angry. It's just, hey, what's up? Right? Oh, never mind. Yada. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to cater to your emotions. Let's put it that way. I won't do it for a bitch. I'm not finna do it for a nigga. You got me? Y'all understand my train of thought here? So it is on this individual because I could easily go up, hey, how are you? But I've been doing that for the last 6 months. God damn it. Okay, so you don't want to get in line? Cool. That's fine. Let's see how not talking to me works for you. That's where I'm at. Let's see. Because it ain't worked for now, nobody else at all. I've tried it. I've tried it. So this is illegal, my friend. You better get out your way. Shoot, 'cause I will freaking put you all the way on blast. All right. So that's how I feel about the matter, y'all. I just was thinking to myself, like, this is why, and I keep saying it time and time again, this is why you're not in a relationship. It's really not. Oh, maybe my bad. Okay, it is. Okay, sorry. Sure. But what is going on? Um, do I want food? So that's where I'm at with it, you guys. I'm big on I just feel like, when you talk about certain things and you bring them up, right? People pay attention to shit, okay? And he is a handsome man. And a part of me has wondered, well, why, I think I want some food. I probably want a burrito, do I? I do. I need to go get me some Chipotle. I don't need to, but I am. I think that's what I'm about to do. And I'm about to turn around, go back the opposite way so I can grab me some food. Um, because I know my mind is, I'm like, do I want it, y'all? I almost went to the liquor store. My New Year's resolution is to not, because I'm tired, and a part of me feels like I have to unwind. But I told myself I'm not doing any more shots because that's what I would buy is little shots. And I need to stop doing that because it takes away from me so much. Yeah, I'll do some Chipotle. That sounds good. And then tomorrow I gotta go grocery shopping. Uh, that sounds delicious, actually. So yeah, anywho, that's where I'm at with it, you guys. I just feel like, men, y'all have to do better. Y'all gotta take charge, man. If you want women to really respect you, it's not really on me to correct the situation as much as it's on a man. I don't know men that feel comfortable with having animosity towards a woman. Now, I could see if like there was some real, like I said something crazy to you, like that was out of pocket, out of line, not just your perception of things, because there's this thing called don't take shit personal. But I could see if I was really like truly disrespectful, right? Then I could see that being a thing a little bit, right? But it ain't that. I mean, his perception could be that, but it ain't that. Um, and I've never really, like, I've never yelled at him. I ain't never said anything crazy outside of what's the status on this? What's going on? When can you get this return done? When can we expect to have it done? Stuff like that, right? Um, so that's my job. I don't care if you like it or not. I represent the clients. I am a client manager. That is what I do for a living. I do not have time to be catering to these little freaking babies, right? Men who claim to be, right? So in this case, it's not really my job to apologize. It ain't my job to cave in. Like there's got to be a mutual respect. Otherwise, we don't have any respect. It is what it is. Like I'm not no Lyft driver, so don't y'all today this Lyft driver, I was walking, I got boots on, I was looking good. This car come in the middle of me walking and just stops right in the middle of like my space. Easy. And apparently it was a lift, but I'm like, you can't tell the difference. They have pictures of people. So how is it that you can't tell that I'm not the black that you're looking for? Oh, that lady had me hot because I was looking way too cute. She had me stopping for nobody's reason. But that's just me, y'all. I be like that sometimes. Oops, y'all be all right. I didn't see y'all, but I'm hungry. So that's my take on it. You know, like I said, I don't do petty beef and catty nonsense. And to me, this entire team is filled with catty ass, sassy ass men. I will say that because they're realizing they listen, my relationships with the other two men, much better. This one, I guess I have to break people in. That's what it is. I don't freaking know. That's exactly what it is. But in terms of leadership and how to lead, this man should not be letting this shit because you have to work with me. I'm not going nowhere. You can complain about me. People have done that many times and they have failed miserably. Okay. So that's not gonna change, right? So he has to work with me. So in that case, I would think that you would try to minimize this no talking animosity that's there. I can do this all day long. I could do this for a whole year. I don't care. But I promise you, when we do speak, it's going to be on his terms. And that's intentional because that means I would hope by the time you're opening up your mouth to speak, you're speaking with a level of respect, right? And we should not be having these issues moving forward, basically, right? If I do it, I feel like that's the same rabbit hole I've been in. So until I'm respected, we don't need to talk, right? But as a man, I just feel like if you don't keep a beef like this long with a man, why the fuck are you doing it with a woman? So it tells me his position, it tells me his mental, it tells me the quality of who he is when he's in a relationship, all of that. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.